All right. Hey, guess what? You guys don't know this, but Jared knows it. During the show breaks between the two shows, I went in the official Student of the Gun break room, because we have one of those. And I had our official Student of the Gun sandwich maker, Shannon, make me a sandwich. So those of you who know, and those of you who don't, well, you got a little bit of catching up to do.
I would say those of you who don't should.
That's right. Those of you who don't need to do a little bit more paying attention, but that's okay. So my belly is a little bit happier now because Shannon made me a nice hot sandwich. And Jared, what are you eating over there on the other side of the glass? I see you're drinking water and you're eating
boiled eggs.
You're eating boiled eggs?
Egg whites.
Egg whites. So I'm glad that there is a glass case separating us. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah. That'll be a few hours.
Yeah, Jared is an athlete. He's a occupational athlete, as some of you may know, and he's getting even more fit and ferocious than he ever has been. And he's doing that high protein, fiber, no carb thing, and he can be, quite frankly, a little bit obnoxious to share a room with here lately. So those of you who know, and those of you who don't.
You're welcome.
Don't. All right, freaks. Listen up, because we've got more to talk about here on Student of the Gun Radio, and thank you for joining us yet again for part 2 of this week's episode 96. We're pushing the century mark.
We're getting up on 100 here.
You know what's actually kind of cool? I was calculating, and based upon the way the calendar sets, we're going to be doing our century mark, or 100, after we come back from the Christmas New Year's break. Now, we don't really take a break, so to speak, because this is a 24/7 online, on-demand video or audio, that is, so you can demand it anytime you want. Be rest assured we're not going to leave and go away. We're going to make sure that you guys have episodes of Student of the Gun, because we know how some of you freak out when we miss a date. And that's okay. You should freak out. But yeah, episode 100 is going to fall right in the beginning of the new year, right after we come back from, everybody starts paying attention again. You know what I have to wonder, Jared? If our ratings, a lot of radio shows, your Rush Limbaughs and your Walton and Johnsons and Becks and all that, they all kind of just phone it in over the Christmas to New Year's break. They have guest hosts, and they have reruns and best of shows, because they know, hey, the people that are at work listening, that are driving back and forth from work listening on the radio, that they're not now, so they're not listening to the radio, so it's no big deal. Now with us, I kind of wonder, is it going to be a little different? Because let's face it, you can listen to Student of the Gun Radio anywhere, anytime that you have an electronic device available to you. You don't even have to have a Wi-Fi connection. Just, download it via, Podcast Republic or what have you, and take it with you.
Yeah, I was thinking that, when the holidays come around and your family's in the house, you could just play it through the speakers.
That's right.
Everybody could hear it.
Well, and I know that a lot of you folks out there, that you take us with you in the car, in the truck, on the drives, that you plug us in, you listen to us while you're going from point A to point B. And so thank you. And remember, 10 and 2 out there on that highway. So long story short, you're like, where are you going with all this, Paul? Well, where we're going with it is this, we're looking at some improvements, some upgrades with a double D, right? Double D upgrades for 2015. A lot of you guys have been...
Speaking of double D upgrades, you got any farther on the calendar yet?
Yeah, you guys are out there, you're like, hey, what's up with the calendar? What's up with the calendar? When we announced it, we talked about the calendar. We knew there was no way we were going to be able to get it out by January 1st. It just wasn't going to happen. Let's face it, most people that do January 1st calendars, they actually are taking the pictures and sending them off to the printers in August and September. So, and that story about the hot chicks with big guns, or big guns with hot chicks, or something like that. That
scantily clad women.
Scantily clad women with big guns. That actually came to us, what was it, in October, November? Something like that. It's been a couple months. Anyway, we're going to be increasing the amount of Student of the Gun Radio that we give you in the new year. we're also going to be increasing the availability of Student of the Gun TV via Smart TV. So pay attention. If you are not signed up for the Student of the Gun newsletter, the free one, the basic e-blast that we send you every week, Jared sends you out a broadcast and says, hey, this week on Student of the Gun, you can watch this, you can listen to this, you can read this, you can get a discount on this product. It's good stuff. And all you have to do is go to studentofthegun.com, sign up for the newsletter. It's free, and you're going to get all that stuff every week. So when we do launch the upgrades, launch the books, launch the new products, launch this, you will be aware of it. Let's face it, you want to know, don't you? Don't you? Jared, do you think they want to know?
I hope they want to know.
I would hope that you would want to know.
Why wouldn't you want to know?
And that's the way to do it. It's going to cost, what's it going to cost them to get the weekly e-blast?
A name and an email.
A name and an email address. That's right. Well, don't forget to support the people that support us. And the people that support us are Brownells at brownells.com. And we're going to be using lots of Brownells pieces and parts to put together our rifle build. We got 2 rifles, and I'm kind of, the great thing about the AR-15 platform, and James hates it when I say that, when you say platform.
Are you going to stand on it?
Are you going to stand on it? Okay, the great thing about the AR-15 style rifle is the fact that in 2014, it just doesn't have to be a 5.56. It could be a 300 Blackout. It could be a 6.5. It could be a 6.8. It can be a 204 Ruger. One of many, many different configurations. It could be a 458 SOCOM if you want to go crazy, or if you want to go the exact opposite direction, you can make it a 22 LR. So now I've got 2 rifle embryos that are sitting over there on the table, and they're just waiting to become guns. And they could be 5.56 guns, they could be Blackout guns, they could be 6.8 guns. I haven't decided for sure, because we actually at home, I went and I looked last night, Jared. Right now I have 3 off the top of my head. I have 3 separate AR-15 upper receivers that are ready to go onto a lower, and they're all in different calibers. So I don't know which. I think what we'll do, Jared, how's this sound? We'll make one in a caliber A and the other one in a caliber B. How's that sound? Does it sound like a winner to you?
It does. It sounds like winner.
All right. It sounds like a winner. Oh, so that's going to be, we're going to be, like I said, using parts from Brownells. We're going to be dropping velocity triggers into both of those. And you're like, what's this velocity triggers jazz all about? And I say, you have an AR-15 rifle. Yes, no, maybe. You're thinking about building one. You say, well, I'm going to want to build a gun, Paul. I already got a gun. All right, cool. You have a gun. Good for you. Is the trigger what you want it to be? Or is it kind of it's okay. Not great, but it's okay. Are you going to be using that gun for competition? Are you going to be using it for hunting? Are you going to be using it for long-range marksmanship? You want to shoot varmints and squirrels and prairie dogs and stuff with it? Well, not squirrels, ground squirrels. Well, yeah, I do want to do that, Paul. Okay, rock on. You can get a drop-in match-grade trigger kit from Velocity Triggers that you can put in on your own workbench at your own kitchen table. It's super easy. Just go to velocitytriggers.com and check them out. Now, Colt.com, like we said, we've got 2 brand new 308 rifles from Colt, and we're going to be testing those out. Excess sights, the fastest sights in any light. And you can put excess sights on an AR-15 rifle. You know that, right? Well, you should. I'm telling you right now. And what's the other one, Jared? Oh, our boys at SWAT Fuel. I didn't forget. SWATfuel.com. Go to SWATfuel.com. Use the promo code SOTG2014. And we've got 2 things going on with SWAT Fuel. Dr. Dan O of SWAT Fuel is a heck of a good guy. And he's working with us tirelessly to give you guys good stuff. And we want you all to be fit in the new year. We do. And if you are a dedicated student of the gun, guess what we're going to do? We're going to give one of you guys out there, we're going to give you a Get Fit in 2015 kit from SWAT Fuel. It's going to be a package, and what you're going to get in is you're going to get the 9mm fat burner, the 9mm plus P endurance formula, a bottle of the 40 caliber multivitamins. You say, well, that's cool, but what am I going to do with that? Just take it and put it on my bathroom counter, but no one's going to know. All right, we're going to let you people know because we're going to give you a T-shirt, a hat, stickers, a wristband, and one of these cool little USB car chargers that says SWAT Fuel on it. So it's an entire package of swag for you guys at Student of the Gun so that you can be fit in 2015. Jared, you know what kind of occurred to me here the other night? I was laying in bed and I was thinking about stuff. And I see you're thinking over there. I see smoke coming out from underneath the cans on your head there.
Yeah, I'm just, this is one of the stories that we're going to talk about in a little bit. I'm trying to understand.
Oh, you're trying to understand.
Just can't understand.
Yeah, be careful. When you try and understand these things, it could hurt your brain. But you know what I was thinking, Jared? I was thinking about the other day when we went out to eat, and you ordered steamed vegetables as opposed to fries, and I had just gone ahead and told the waitress, you know, the club sandwich with the fries, and then I looked over and I'm like, you know what? Switch that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, everybody, men and women, you know, once you're no longer a teenager and that metabolism kind of slows down and goes away, once you're an adult, everybody goes through that soft period where we get mushy. Don't we? We all do.
I went through that period already.
I mean, I do, you do, everybody does. Everybody goes through that soft period. Now, for some people, that soft period is like 15 years long. Some people, it's like 6 months.
That's like a soft. That's not a period. Yeah. That's like a. I don't know what to call that.
Be careful what you say. It's family friendly.
Yeah, that's what I was searching for a phrase there.
That's right. No, but and you say, does that make me a bad guy? Let's face it. Some of you guys and girls out there, you get on the scale. If you have a scale, if you don't have a scale, you should probably get one. But you get on the scale and you look down and you're like, ugh. You know, when I was 22 years old, I was firm and fit and toned and ready to go, and now I'm not 22, and I'm soft, and it's easy to get depressed. It's easy to look at yourself and say, man, what is wrong with you, Paul? Why did you let yourself get this way? Well, you get comfortable, you fall into that soft period. But here's the deal. You don't have to stay there. And hopefully you've got some friends, some companions, some people to give you a little bit of support and encouragement. And that's what we're all about. That's what we're talking about, is helping each other get through and past that soft time in your life, that soft period. And, you know, especially if you're an adult, it's tough because a lot of times you'll say, all right, you'll get dedicated. And this is where the January to February to March thing comes in. Because people get all New Year's resolution-y and motivated, and you know, the gyms are packed on January 2nd. And then on February 2nd, they're ghost towns. Well, why is that? Because it takes effort. Right, because there's no long-standing motivation there. And you fall back into, you know, a lot of people, they get fit, they work out, and they're doing it. And then once they get to a certain place, they're like, I can skip this week, I can skip next week, I can, you know, it's not going to hurt me if I have a cheeseburger and fries, you know, that kind of a thing. So when it comes to getting fit, when it comes to SWAT Fuel, one other thing I want to say about SWAT Fuel. So, Jared, do you actually have to exercise?
Yeah, you can't just take the pill and then sit.
Somebody said to me the other day, they're like, well, I don't know if that stuff works because I took it and I didn't really feel anything. I said, well, did you work out or did you exercise or anything? Well, no.
Then why'd you take it?
Well, you know, I just thought you could take it. No, you actually have to, like, move your body. Yeah.
They wanted to stay up and play video games all night, so he took a pill.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can do that, but if you really want to see results, and you know what Jaeger says is you lose weight at the table and you gain muscle at the gym.
Yeah.
You
get fit at the gym.
Yeah, you get fit at the gym and you lose weight at the table. Oh, you lose weight at the table by looking at what's about to go into your mouth and saying, do I really need that? And then, and this isn't a health and fitness show. I just think that you guys as students of the gun, let me tell you what, folks, you need to be physically fit. You need to try. You need to put whatever, and are you going to be as fit as your neighbor? Are you going to be as strong or run as fast as the guy across the street? No, it's not about competing with them. It's about competing with you. It's about competing with the guy in the mirror. That's what you're going to do. And we're going to be talking about that the entire month of December leading up to 2015 before we give away the Get Fit in 2015 kit.
And I've done several diets or whatever you want to call it, lifestyle changes where you completely switch the way that you eat. And this time's a little bit easier for me because I've got someone that helps me. If you guys have ever done like meal plans and stuff, you know that you prep your food. Basically, you spend 1 day or 2 days a week prepping all your food for that entire week. And it takes a lot of work for that 1 day, but then the rest of the week you can just grab stuff out of the fridge and it's already proportioned and it's already ready for you. But this time around it's a lot easier for me because I have somebody that can help me do that. I have somebody that helps me get through the I guess it's really monotonous work. And it's, you have somebody to push you through that, push you past it.
Human beings are creatures of habit. Let's face it, you are. Not only are you a creature of habit, but your body's a creature of habit. Do you know that your body wants to be at a certain weight? It wants to stay at a weight. That's why it's so hard to lose, because your body gets comfortable at a certain weight. And so when you decide, another person on the radio, who I'm not going to mention because I don't want to name drop, but years ago, probably more than 10, was talking about weight loss, and they said that people that try and ease slowly into weight, because everybody does this. Well, I don't want to shock my system. I just want to.
Yeah, you do.
I want to slowly ease. I'll have one less cookie today. I'll eat one less cookie, and you can't do that. You got to shock your system. You have to make a hard change, because your body wants to stay that weight. If you're 257 pounds, your body wants to be 257 pounds. You can't slowly ease yourself into it. So that's what we're all about.
And people they're out there like, well, what does this have to do with guns? Why is Student of the Gun talking about this? Because being fit is part of being an armed citizen. It's part of being a complete armed citizen.
It's part of being a complete armed citizen. And you know what a healthy body supports? A healthy mind. And if you are a student of the gun, you're a beginner once, but you're a student for life, right? If you hope to be a student for life, you have to have a sharp mind. You have to be able to discern truth from lies, because every single day you're bombarded with lies and propaganda and distraction, and only a sharp mind is going to help you discern what is truth and what is falsehood, what is good, what is evil, what should I actually be paying attention to, besides Student of the Gun. So that's my speech on that for today. And I wanted to give you guys something. I wanted to give you a positive nugget there. Take that positive nugget and take it with you. And when it comes to support, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how you can support each other after we talk about these next two stories. All right.
Speaking of propaganda, let's go ahead and get into
propaganda. The first story, if you guys didn't see this, it's too bad. But the first story, this came to us from liveleak.com, and it happened in Germany. In Germany, a woman she stood up for some teenage girls. Some teenage girls were being sexually harassed. They'd actually been cornered. Some men had cornered these girls in a McDonald's bathroom, of all places. And a woman stepped in to stand up for the girls, to stop the men from doing what they were doing, right?
They must have had gender identity issues that day.
Yeah, they
didn't know what bathroom to go in.
They had gender issues. Well, they didn't like it. They weren't down with that. And so when they were all out in the parking lot, one of the guys went to his car, retrieved a bat, and beat this woman to the ground. Hit her with the bat, beat her to the ground. Well, she was in a coma for 2 weeks, and her family just recently pulled the plug. They told the doctors, go ahead and...
On her 23rd birthday. So this chick was 23 years old, and she died
she was
from
22.
beating to death.
She wasn't shot. She wasn't stabbed. She was beaten with a blunt object. Now, that's something new in the world, because up to this point in time, people haven't been hitting each other with sticks and blunt objects. It's really more of an object, not an instrument. I found it out back when I was raking. Got that one?
Yeah. Wow.
Some of you
Wow.
will get it. Oh. Well, if you look at the story dated November 30th, tribute to German student killed for helping harassed women. And you say, okay, well, that warms my heart. Tributes have been paid to a German student who died after she was beaten for stopping a group of men from harassing 2 women. You're like, what were they doing? Like, hey, baby, you hot, blah, 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 blah. It says, Tuse Albarak. And you're like, what kind of a German name is that? Tugse Albarak was in a coma for 2 weeks. Her parents decided to take her off. You're like, well, apparently Germany, not apparently, they do, like a lot of other European countries, have a huge influx of foreign immigrants, from Asia, Southwest Asia, Eastern Asia, and so forth have immigrated. And these are a lot of Turkish immigrants. And so you're like, And you might be thinking, now, if there's a long video that accompanies this, and they go out and they talk to the people, and Jared, can you play videos from LiveLeak? I know we have a hard time with a lot of audio that's linked into into news stories because, they put their embedding in there and it kind of messes with us. But do you think it would be all right to let the people listen to a little bit of the audio from this the news story here?
From the top video on LiveLeak?
The one that's titled Tributes to German Student Killed for her helping harass
That's
women.
not on LiveLeak. That's on BBC.
I'm sorry, on BBC. Did you notice that the LiveLeak and BBC websites look almost identical?
Yeah. It was funny.
They both have the exact same red background. They're both laid out the exact same. I wonder if they have very similar. Well, they're not the exact same, but they're close. Go ahead and play if you can, pull up the audio from the BBC story and listen. And then after we listen to it, we're going to talk about what's not there.
Paying an emotional farewell to a young woman who's been hailed as a national hero. Thousands gathered across Germany to pay tribute. Tuğçe Albarak had intervened to help 2 women who were being harassed by a group of men in a restaurant. Later, one of the assailants returned and beat her with a bat. She spent 2 weeks in a coma. While people held a vigil outside the hospital, her family made the decision to turn off her life support. It was her 23rd birthday.
Tuğçe was a person that everybody loved. She was always very friendly.
It feels like I'm dreaming and I'm waiting to wake up.
People from around the world also took to Twitter to pay their respects.
That's how we do it in the
Director
world.
of Human Rights Watch, Lottie
We
Leich,
pay our respects
tweeted,
via
"Heartbreaking. Tuğçe, 23, dies after defending girls of harassment. My deep respect and thoughts are with her family." Some posted pictures of her saying, "Happy birthday, Tuğçe," while others tweeted pictures of candles.
Tweet pictures of
More
candles.
than 100,000 people have signed a petition calling for the German president to posthumously award her the National Order of Merit. Joachim Gauck is
Posthumously.
considering the honor. He wrote a letter to her family saying, "Like countless citizens, I am shocked and appalled by this terrible act." Where other people looked the other way, Tuğçe showed exemplary courage and moral fortitude. While many of her friends and family would welcome the recognition of her bravery, for now, they mourn a life ended far too soon. Laura West.
Okay. You guys heard the whole story, right? All what happened and so. Jared, did you have do you have some leakage over there on your side of the glass? Was it water or coffee?
It was water.
It was water. Okay. All right, we didn't lose anything, did we? Are we still on? Is this thing still on? Okay. Oh, you slick students of the gun out there, you listened to that. You listened to that whole story. And out of that whole thing, what did you get from that? Now, you American, United States of America news listeners, normally, back in the olden days, when you would listen to a news story about a crime, an assault, a robbery, a murder, what was a key component in the crime, assault, robbery, murder? What's a key component in that story? Who? It was not a trick question. It's not a freaking trick question over there.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, the people that committed the crime, what they look like, their background or something.
Yeah.
How to identify them?
Exactly. Well, you talk about usually when somebody's murdered, somebody's robbed, somebody's beaten, somebody's raped, whatever, and the news story comes out. Well, what is a component in the story? The perpetrator, right? Jared, in that entire, piano, all that stuff, did they one time mention the name of the perpetrator and why they might have thought it was cool to kill this chick?
Nope.
Because when I saw this, someone sent me this link. I saw the story previously, and I wasn't sure. I'm like, is this the same story as the one I saw earlier? Well, because these guys are Turkish immigrants. And when I saw the story, when I saw the news that a woman two teenage girls were being harassed by a group of men, I thought, what kind of men would do that in public? What kind of men would think that it was okay in a McDonald's restaurant to push themselves sexually upon two teenage girls? Would it be members of the religion of peace? Why, yes, it would. Good answer. Give yourself a gold star. Now, if you go back, and this story goes back all the way to November 19th, and the story of her dying was on the 30th. Well, on November 19th, here's what we knew. Girl, and this is from livelink.com, girl beaten to death by Muslim in Germany. Oh, so a Turkish immigrant who was also Muslim males, they got some nice pictures of them here. The killer, here's a picture of the killer posing with a Muslim rapper. Really, no kidding. It actually says that.
They have those?
Dude, you've got to pull me up some Muslim rap. But anyway, yeah, the killer thought that, why did they think that would be okay? Now, here's the big question. Why do we deliberately leave out all the information about the people the guy and his accomplices who murdered this chick? Is it because, we just don't want to talk about that? Hey, Jared, going back to the first hour, do you think if the guy that killed this girl was an ultra right-wing Christian with anti-gay and anti-Jew tendencies and was Caucasian, do you think they would have put that in the story?
Definitely.
I'm pretty sure that they would have, based upon history. And what else? What did we learn? Have we learned previously in the United States? Where was it? Was it in Wisconsin, where the college said, what did they put a new rule about you could not give physical descriptions of suspects at large because that was profiling and that was racist? So yeah, here we have a story where Muslim men are, that's just par for the course, are sexually harassing women, and you're like, oh, hey, no, don't paint everyone. Shut up. If you're about to tell me you can't paint everyone with a broad brush and you can't make assumptions, and no, I'm not making assumptions and I'm not being prejudiced. Prejudice is to prejudge ahead of the facts. I have the facts. You want to talk about facts? Google the words or duck the words, India rape epidemic. Go ahead if you have the courage and the guts to go to your favorite search engine and type in the words India rape epidemic. And then take about 5 to 10 minutes and read about what's going on in India and who is committing these gang rapes against Indian women. And then you go ahead and come back to me and talk to me about how I'm prejudiced and painting with a broad brush.
I have something for you. You want to hear it?
Go ahead.
All right, this is going to be the first time I've listened to it, too, so we'll figure out.
Is it Muslim rap?
It's Muslim rap, yeah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Das geht an die Oma des letzten Propheten Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
I think we've got.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got
A Religion of Peace update theme.
there you go.
Dude, that just, folks, that just happened. Pop, 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 pop. Spontaneity here in the Student of the Gun studios. Pop, 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 pop. Save that. Wow. So, yeah, we thought that you guys, as intelligent students of the gun, as beginners once, students for life, would appreciate the fact that, yeah, that's why you got to have a sharp brain, a sharp mind, because there are forces at work. There are people who just don't feel that it's right, or just don't feel that you need to have all those facts, because those facts might make you think that certain people behave a certain way. And even if it is the truth, we can't talk about it. Why? But it actually is. Well, yeah, but we just can't talk about it. Liberalism is a mental disease, and Michael, I'll send you a quarter for using that. Never forget that. All right, Jared, I see the clock on the wall says that it's time to move on to, we're going to talk a little bit about support. You guys out there in the Student of the Gun audience, guys and girls, if you are paying attention to what's going on in the world, if you see Rome as it is burning, you may be feeling frustrated. You might be feeling like, am I the only one? And even if you don't think you're the only one, you may be trying to save the world all on your own, or save your family, or what. You feel that social isolation. You feel like you're the only one, and you feel like that you're the only one who's trying, the only one that cares, the only one that's paying attention. You shouldn't have to carry that burden all by yourself. And that's why you have a team. Not a huge team, not a battalion, not a company, not a regiment, but a few people that you can rely upon when the going gets tough. And I'm not talking about Mutual of Omaha. I'm talking about the Patriot Fire Team. And if you've listened to the sound of my voice and you have not investigated the Patriot Fire Team yet, you need to do yourself a favor and do so. If you, for one moment, feel like, am I the only one in my peer group that gets this? You know, I can't talk about, what's really going on at work because all my coworkers are a bunch of liberal whack jobs. My family doesn't get it. They think that I'm paranoid. My family called up the Austin Police Department hotline to tell them that I'm angry and own guns. Check out the Patriot Fire Team. It's pretty simple, isn't it, Jared? It's like it sounds. PatriotFireTeam.com.
Yeah, PatriotFireTeam.com.
Now, Jared has been working, we talked about it last week a little bit, but diligently behind the scenes to upgrade, with a double D, the Patriot Fire Team website.
Oh, and for all you guys that had questions about if you signed up before, do you need to sign up again to get a new access code for the members area? No, you do not need to sign up again. The members code, all the passwords are the same. But there is a new, I updated the PDF, the free report that we give you, and there's a little bit more information in it. So if you don't have it, if you don't have go to the page, go to patriotfireteam.com/members, and that'll bring you up with a little password box, and put the password that you received in your email in that, and then click the submit button, and it'll bring up the free report, 2 videos, and then I think there's 2 audio segments in there too.
And so far, more than 1,000 plus, couple thousand, several thousand people of you out there have done that. You've gone to the Patriot Fire Team, you've signed up, you've gotten the free report, you've read it, and then what you do is you start sending us letters and Facebook messages and so forth. And you know what an FAQ is, right? Frequently asked question. Well, we get a lot of frequently asked questions, and so what I decided to do a couple of months ago is, rather than do an FAQ page or whatever, I'm just going to do a whole book. The Patriot Fire Team, Preserving the Republic 4 Men at a Time. And it's done. The book is done. Jared, how is it? We're sticking to the December 16th launch?
December 16th.
Okay. So right now the book currently is in electronic book format. Excuse me.
I'm on the last chapter right now. I'm editing the last chapter.
Okay. And the reason we did that is because that is the quickest way we can get it into your hands. That is the most efficient delivery system that we've got. Yes, we know that you like Dead Tree versions, and we are going to come up with a Dead Tree version so you can actually hold it in your hands. But for right now, the electronic version, the great thing about ebooks is it's not just words. It's links, it's information. You're like, well, where did you get this from? Or I don't believe you. Okay, well, it's all sourced in the bibliography. Just click on it and go to it. Bam, there you have it. And you want to share stuff with your friends. You're like, did you know? And your friends are like, oh, there's no way. That's a bunch of crap. Or I don't believe it. Say, well, here it is. You can read it for yourself. Oh, well, I never knew about that. Well, there you go. So the book is available right now for pre-sale. Isn't that correct, Jared? You can go to patriotfireteam.com and get it?
Yeah, go to patriotfireteam.com, and there's a little in the menu, click ebook, and it'll take you to the page where you can pre-order it. And anybody that pre-orders the book, the digital book, will get a significant discount when we get the paperback book ready.
Ah, there you go.
A significant discount on the book, on the paperback hard copy.
You're a nice guy, Jared. I don't care what anybody says.
Are we going to do a paperback or hardback?
No, paperback.
Paperback?
Not going to do hardback.
Okay.
This isn't a novel.
Yeah. But, well, if you do a hardback...
I want it to be something handy that people can take with them.
Well, a hardback.
If we do it a hard book, we're going to have to charge people $29.95 for the book.
Yeah, but if you get mad, then you can just beat somebody with it.
You can hit somebody with it. You can use it as armor, as a shield.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to move on to the next subject?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
We've got a quirky update theme for you, so stand by, hippies. Jared's going to...
Stop! Hammer time!
What? Is it hammer time? Apparently, in St. Louis and the suburb of St. Louis, Ferguson, Missouri, it's always hammer time. And you hip students of the gun, you smart students of the gun, the people who have been paying attention to us for over a year now know that, but way before the gentle giant, Michael Brown, way before the gentle giant decided that the gentle giant, who was 18 years old and already had a half a dozen charges and convictions against him as an adult, never mind his juvenile stuff. Never mind all that. Never mind the fact that he committed a strong-arm robbery. Never mind all that. Way before the gentle giant came into the news, we had a story from Ferguson, Missouri. And the story came to us from fox2now.com. Hot dog vendor beaten with hammer for cell phone. And they actually had surveillance video from the Home Depot of 4 Utes. Were they Utes? I don't know if they were Utes or not. They might have been over 18. But essentially, 4 splendid urbanites from the city of Ferguson walked into a Home Depot, shoplifted a hammer, and then walked out of the front door. And there was a man standing in front of the Home Depot selling hot dogs like they do. And they decided that they wanted his phone. So they took his phone from him, and then for his trouble, they beat him about the head with a hammer. Yeah. Oh, you say, well, but it's okay, Paul, because they found those guys and they arrested them. And so that's all over with. Well, that was August 22nd, 2013. Well, here we are back in December of 2014, and well, what story do we have here? ABC13.com, story dated December 1st, 2014. Teens, beat St. Louis motorist to death with hammers in front of his wife. Yes, a Caucasian man, now he's Caucasian, he's an immigrant from Bosnia, was stopped at an intersection. Okay, a woman in St. Louis says she watched her husband beaten to death by teens with hammers. He pulled me out of the way and put himself in front of me, basically giving up his life for me, he said. I love these Slavic names. Arijana Mujikjanovic, whose husband, 32-year-old Zamir Bejic, how come they don't have the same name if they're married? They don't have the same last name, but they're married. That's weird. died Sunday morning of his injuries from the attack. Police say Bejic, a Bosnian man who moved to St. Louis this year, was in his car about 1:15 a.m. Sunday when several young people approached and began damaging his car. When Bejic got out of the car, they attacked him. He suffered injuries to the head, abdomen, face, mouth, and the attacker was pronounced dead at the hospital. About 50 people, mostly Bosnian, briefly blocked the intersection in reaction to the murder and so forth. You're like, okay, well, hang on a second here. So do you know about this? Were you made aware of this? If you don't follow Student of the Gun, do you know? Do you think that if a ultra right-wing conservative Christian who is Caucasian used a gun to kill somebody, that it would be national news? What do you think, Jared? Do you think it would be national news? It would be on the head every night.
Yeah, it
lead
would be
stories.
It would be in rotation every night.
But here we have 4 dazzling urbanites decided that they were just going to go ahead and beat this guy to death. Why? Well, he should not have been there with hammers. Now, isn't it time, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to go ahead and put my reasonable hat on, if I can, Jared. Isn't it time to institute some rational hammer control?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, if we can save just one life through universal hammer background checks to prevent, we have to stop. How are these kids, how are these youths, these teens getting hammers? Are they using a straw purchaser? I don't know. We have to have universal hammer background checks, and we need it now. I propose that the Missouri State House go into emergency session today. This isn't an isolated incident. This has happened more than once. And if it saves one person's life, you say, oh, well, it might be, a bother, or it might be a hindrance to you the next time you go to Home Depot to buy a hammer. You might actually be annoyed or bothered that you have to fill out a background check for your hammer. But if it saves one life, isn't that worth it?
I got one for you. Death has no glamour. Turn in your hammer.
Ooh.
There we go. There's our slogan.
Wow, death has no glamour. Turn in your hammer.
There we go.
Do you think that they might consider, like England, merry old England, instituting a hammer amnesty week where people can go to the Ferguson Police Department or the St. Louis Police Department and they can surrender their hammers without any questions asked? I think, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. The time has come for hammer control. And if it saves one life, I don't care if it bothers you, if it hinders you, if it interrupts your life. If you can't take 15 minutes to fill out a form to transfer that hammer to yourself legally, then maybe you don't need a hammer. Maybe we need to institute hammer waiting periods. Let people cool down. Let them go in, pay for the hammer, and come in and pick it up 5 days later. The time has come, and that's all I'm going to say. If you support me, support hammer time. The time has come. All right. Wow, man, this is like I don't want to say the fastest hour in broadcast time, but it's pretty darn close to the fastest hour in broadcast time. The clock on the wall says we've been at this for almost 45 whole minutes already in part 2. Wow.
Yeah, we got into talking about fitness and SWAT fuel and
fitness.
stuff.
Fitness.
You like fitness?
Well,
I can't finish that because
if
it's
you were
not
in
the bonus hour. It's not the grad program. So
woo! All right, like I said, those of you that know. Those of you that don't, well, ask.
I'll finish it in the grad program hour this week.
Well, if you're an adult and you don't get that joke, find a 15-year-old and they'll finish it for you. All right. But ladies and gentlemen and children of all ages, thank you for joining us for yet another episode of Student of the Gun Radio. Now we're going to, Jared and I are going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get back in the glass case of emotion, and we're going to do the bonus hour I'm going to do the bonus hour for you guys. And how do you get the bonus hour? Well, you want to be a grad program member. Go to studentofthegun.com, go to studentofthegunradio.com, and sign up for the grad program. You get the bonus hour each and every week. You get the Tactical Tutor. That is an exclusive newsletter just for you guys. And somebody out there is going to win, one of our grad program members is going to win a Carr CW9 pistol and a holster to go with it.
With the laser on it.
With a laser. And I'm doing air quotes as I say laser. All right, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, thank you for supporting us. We love you. And for you guys that are grad program members, stay tuned. We'll be right back with you in just a moment.